If I'm honest, it was kind of more walking and a little bit, not very, but more confusing than I thought it would be. So in this video, I'm sharing with you what to know about embarking on Virgin Voyages out of Portsmouth, UK, so that you can know what to expect and have the best cruise vacation possible coming up. And if you're new here, ahoy! I'm Christine Lozada. I love Virgin Voyages. I'm currently on Brilliant Lady for her first sailing. I'm so excited to be here. Be a smart traveler. Book your sailing with us. We get a better deal than on the ship, a better deal than other travel agents, and even if you're already booked, make sure you have a good amount of sailor loot on your voyage. Let's dive in with the first thing to know. If you arrive via taxi into Portsmouth, what happens is the taxi will pull into a specific area for Virgin Voyages, and the luggage drop-off is exactly where you're going to get dropped off. Some of the ports, it's not so bad. If you want to carry in, which you can carry on your big luggages, you can, but this is a port where I would actually recommend that you check it. That, of course, I still had my own small carry-on, but my big luggage, I checked that and I recommend you do it here. They will have porters out there that will tag your luggage for you, so you can just simply show up and make sure that you have the app downloaded with your boarding pass ready, because they're going to be asking you for your cabin number. So you'll take care of your luggage there, and then you'll take the very, very short walk into the port, and here's what you can expect there. As you come into the indoor port area, here you're going to see the lineup of boarding times, and you need to Virgin Voyages, just like airlines, right? You board with your boarding group, so you're boarding at your boarding time. Yes, sometimes they will be ahead of schedule and will be letting people on early, but that's not guaranteed. It is helpful to know that you can drop off your luggage earlier and then go. There's a free shuttle that will take you to an area with dining and shopping. See the info in the description below, as well as book your sailing with us. All that info is in there as well. But you're going to line up with your boarding group. You still need to have that boarding pass out, and then when it is your time, you will be taken upstairs. There are elevators. You'll be taken upstairs where you're going to start the check-in process. When you come upstairs, you'll find they do have like a waiting area with like food and things like that. It kind of feels like an airport. So downstairs there are like restrooms, and upstairs there's restrooms, and there's a little shop and things like that. But for the most part, this isn't really a port that you hang out at. So I would actually recommend just arriving at your boarding time, go through this process, and as you come upstairs, have your passport ready, because now it's time to check in. So there are elevators at the ready, but one thing that's helpful to know is that after you go through your check-in and you're getting your band, the next portion is you're going through security, and it just feels exactly like the airport, right? Feels like TSA security. And on the other side of this, and newer for Virgin Voyages in the last, I don't know, 6 or 8 months or so, is you can buy bar tab before you finally board the ship. I bought bar tab. I know, contrary to popular belief, Virgin Voyages does not pay for all of my Moet, but one thing that is helpful to know is that even if you are a non-US citizen, we can book you no matter what country you are sailing out of or from.
So book your sailing with us.
So normally this is the part where it's time to get on the ship, right? You just scoot onto the ship. No, not in Portsmouth. But wait, there's more. I regret taking the stairs down, especially since I had my huge camera bag, but there are elevators available, and you're getting onto a shuttle. It's not a long shuttle ride, but given like the traffic and construction going on, I don't think you can actually walk from the port onto the ship. So the shuttle is going to take you the short distance from the port over to the ship. And then you have a pretty long walk up the gangway. And what's helpful to know is if you need help with a wheelchair or some assistance, the crew is there ready to assist you. So this, if you're listening to this and you're familiar with Terminal V Miami, for example, this is a very different experience than that. And knowing what to expect so that you can be prepared is helpful. At this point, you're simply scooting onto the ship, and you just need to make sure you're wearing your wearable, your band, so they can scan it upon entry. And for Portsmouth, you come on via the 6th deck. And then do you know what time it is? It's time to start your voyage. In this next section of the video, I try to make the video I wish I got to see, and it would be helpful for me to know what's it like coming in from London down to Portsmouth. How do you take the train? And some tips around that. But if you're getting some value, cheers that like button, consider subscribing. And I had flown into Heathrow, and I stayed in Shoreditch. I chose this location because it's amazing for walking walking around and just super easy to get around London. Absolutely loved this experience. I did hang out at the Virgin Hotel a lot. Awesome experience, especially in the bar area. Loved the champagne selection there. But I stayed at the Citizen M, which is a slightly less expensive experience, but equally a vibe and just around the corner. Absolutely loved that. See the info in the description for more info on both hotels. And it's helpful to know that within London, Uber is available. And so yes, you could take the normal tube to your train station. I chose to go out of Waterloo, but find the one that's closest for you. What the heck is this train called? Southwest Railway something something. But since I had so much frickin' luggage, even though my business partner and travel agent, thank you JC, carried half my luggage for me, even with what I had, it was so much there was no way I was going to take the tube. So I took an Uber to the Waterloo station and I bought my tickets in advance via Trainline. All of this info is in the description below. When I was booking my ticket, there's lots of train options and several of them were requiring a connection. So I chose a time that would get me at the port close to my embarkation time, but was a direct route so I never had to transfer trains. It took me an hour and a half and I took the train from Waterloo down to Portsmouth and Southsea. So some people will take it down to Portsmouth Harbor, which is the last stop. It's not that much further away, but I do recommend getting off at Portsmouth and Southsea. I was feeling super lucky because on the train, it wasn't that busy. And given how much luggage I had, there isn't really an easy space to put everything there. And so getting on and off the train, I don't want to say it was hard, but I had a decent amount of luggage. And if I had two huge luggages, plus my huge camera luggage, plus my purse, that would have been a lot. But getting on and off, there's actually quite a large gap. I was very lucky in that. Thank you Douglas and Beatrice and Abba for helping me with my luggage. I think those doors would have closed on me otherwise. But it's just something to be aware of so you know what to expect. And when you get to Portsmouth and Southsea, here you're going to be able to jump into a taxi and they're just lined up right out front. And there was it was kind of busy. It was a Thursday afternoon and the ride in the taxi took about maybe 12 minutes or so. It didn't take that long and cost about 15 whatever the London money is. It's not euros.
Pounds. It's £15.
So don't forget, if you do arrive way before your embarkation time, you can simply take that taxi and drop off your luggage and then get on the free shuttle to go to the area where they have the shopping, dining, etc. and you can hang out and all those things. I'm Christine Lozada. If this video was helpful, cheers that like button, consider subscribing, book your sailing with us. Even if you're a non-US citizen, we got you with the best deal out there. And by popular demand, I tried to film this video yesterday. The door, people were knocking at the door, people were calling me on the phone. There's this, it all
went to ship.
But I'm on Brilliant Lady. Check the playlist. There's tons of videos in there, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.
As shown on the back of your cabin door or in the Virgin Voyages app.
All right, so the phone's ringing a ton. I'll pick up on this. I'll pick up on this video later. Feel knocking at the door, all the things.